A man once said, "I am interested in anything about revolt, disorder, chaos, especially activity that seems to have no meaning. It seems to me to be the road towards freedom. Rather than starting inside, I start outside and reach the mental through the physical." This man is the late great singer for The Doors, Jim Morrison. But Jim Morrison is more than just a singer. He is an inspiration to an entire generation, spreading his message through his poetry in the medium of music. I am here today to pay tribute to Jim Morrison because of his influential singing style, poetry, and lifestyle that shaped a generation and generations to come. Jim Morrison initially was famous because he is the lead singer of The Doors, and he is able to accomplish this because of his very unique singing style. Rolling Stone magazine rates him number 47 in their top 100 singers list. This is a great accomplishment because they have a large number of singers within that list, and he is over halfway up the list. Although Jim Morrison did not have the largest vocal range, he was able to sing with a passion, which made his vocals special and bellow throughout the acoustics of various venues that he played. He was able to spread some of his poetry through the medium of music. His poetry was influential to a generation. Here's a Jim Morrison poem I would like to read. "It takes large murder to turn rocks in the shade and expose strange worms beneath. The lives of our discontented madmen are revealed." Jim uses strange dark imagery to show his true personal self in the poem. The Huffington Post says, "Although it may not shock people that The Doors' music is still popular, what might surprise people is that Jim Morrison's poetry still has an audience." It did surprise me that his poetry still had an audience because I enjoy his poetry very much. In fact, I would like to say that he has some of the best poetry I've ever read. But it wasn't only his poetry and his music that made him so influential. It was his way of life. He portrayed the initial lifestyle of a rock star by doing various things throughout his life. In fact, the New York Times talks about an appeal of an event that happened over 40 years ago that was a misdemeanor in Florida. He basically took his pants off on stage and he got a misdemeanor because of indecent exposure in a public venue. When a quote about this from Miss Sink, the woman who pardoned Jim Morrison when talking to her son, said that her son was for the pardon. He said, "Mom, what are you thinking? It's because his music has lived across generations." This shows the impact his music has had over people and why he should be appreciated in our time. He also helped shape the 1960s counterculture, which has shaped an entire generation and made stereotypes throughout the years. Unfortunately, Jim Morrison died July 3rd, 1971 at the age of 21. Because of this, the world never saw his full potential. Thank you for listening, and please take a moment to pay tribute to a singer who led the psychedelic generation.